And go ahead, Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Blue Medina, always beaming.